from the story of those left alone on earth. Chapter 3, The Little House. Roland dropped by in front of my little pod. Luckily it was summer, so I had a little patio set up outside right out front. I had property, but not the building. You gotta get something a little bigger, he said. My tent is only big enough for a person to crawl into and sleep. Can't you afford a little house? They have some made just like that, but big enough for guests at least. Why, Roland? You looking to move in, I asked. No, but if it was raining, we'd get pretty wet, I think. I guess we could meet in my house. We have a community building here too where we can meet and have meals and hang out with guests. Yeah, but this pup tent you have is pretty primitive. Pup tent, I looked at it. Really? Really? You need to think about a little house. If you're thinking about the environment, I must admit I was. I just don't want to waste myself with a big house and a whole lot of luxuries. Like a toilet or a refrigerator or a stove, he said. He began to laugh. I'm sorry. I'm just not so human and I just say things that can be hurtful. I just enjoy it so much too. The look on your face, it is amazing. I don't have any look on my face, I said. He busted out laughing and I grinned. Well, I'll think about getting something bigger soon. Good. There was a pause. I have a proposition for you, he said. A proposition, is it? I looked at him hard. I couldn't read him at all. Definitely not human. Yes, I think you should go into politics. I would love for you to be a community leader or have some type of position. I have to work with them all the time and they keep acting all weird around me. I don't pick that up around you. That's because I act weird all the time. He didn't get the joke. You could be an asset to your community and get a lot done. Really? And how much would it cost? Cost? It's free. Public funding. I would like to submit your name as a candidate. What is your feeling? What is my feeling? I don't know. That means yes, he said. Oh no, I didn't mean to say yes. I had to think about it. That means yes, he said. You think about it, weigh the good and bad. Think of the cost as compared to how much good you can do, and think about how bored you are, realizing that it will at least give you a chance to travel and do some good, and then you'll say yes. Am I wrong? I'm speechless. That is a good sign, he said. What do you mean by that? That means yes, right? Sure, whatever, put my name in. I won't be elected anyway. I am glad. It would be great to work with you. Don't be so sure. So when are we going to get this little house? It can be just like this one, only bigger. He spread his arms. Way bigger. I'll think about it, I said. That means yes. What are you, a salesperson, I asked. No, only a concerned citizen. I didn't know if he was serious or not. I began to hang out at the bar mostly with the ALFs, which was strange. We humans were so few, however, that it was only normal. After a couple of weeks, I noticed other groups of ALFs combined with humans happening. It was kind of fun, believe it or not. The ALFs saw the world in a totally different way than we did. They worked like crazy for no money, which was kind of good, to be truthful, since they were supplied with everything they needed. They didn't need food, water, or even rest, just to be charged every so often. They could do that themselves. Solar energy, wind energy, tidal energy, all of that was available now in surplus since our lifestyles had changed after the disaster. People didn't waste energy. Unless one had a family, they lived in little houses made out of synthetics. Partnered people lived in one a little bigger, and families lived in bigger ones, but not in houses with 4 or 5 empty rooms and attics full of stuff. We had lost the love affair that we had with things, according to historians. There had been a time, according to them, when a person's worth was measured by what they had. The more, the bigger, the more expensive, the better the person was thought to be. Striving for capital instead of improvement of character was at the core of everything. Money and the ability to buy and sell was the real religion. The underlying, one that underlined everything. The disaster that killed off most of the population and sent the others spilling out across the universe had finally showed us that we were wrong. It had broken that another favorite thing. The humans no longer had it, most of them anyway. The ALFs didn't either. It is said that the essentials were still trapped in that mindset. They still had large mansions and large estates full of empty grounds where they just grew grass. All of that land that could have been used by other plants to grow on, and by animals that would live in the ecosystems they created. Couldn't happen because it was just kept empty. What a waste. I envy the ALF sometimes. They didn't have personalities per se, but they could sure pretend as though they did. There were subtle differences in them. When you were around them long enough, you could see something. The differences were like subtle personality differences, even though they would never admit it, and would smirk when the humans mentioned it. I appreciate the way that you are attempting to be more comfortable with who I am, they would often say, especially Cindy, who was out there when it came to laughing and joking around. The sentence would end right there. I heard her say it once as we were sitting next to each other at the table in the corner where we usually sat. After the person walked away, I said, "Subtle put down." She looked at me and actually blushed, but remained silent. Thank you for being with us, and next, Chapter 4. Namaste, folks. Check out our website, hit the like button, and subscribe to hear more of Life Among the Stars by Om Prakash Gilmore.